You ever walk into a store for one thing, just one thing, and somehow walk out feeling like you blacked out financially? You didn't decide to spend $80. You don't remember making choices. You don't remember comparing prices. All you remember is that weird moment at the checkout where you thought, wow, I actually saved money today. And then later that night, you're lying in bed, you open your banking app, and there it is, lower than you expected. Again. And you're sitting there thinking, how is this possible? I budget. I track my expenses. I wait for sales. I try to be smart. I don't buy things impulsively. I don't throw money around. I'm not reckless. So why does it feel like I'm working harder with money and still losing? Why does it feel like no matter how disciplined I am, the gap between what I earn and what I keep just keeps shrinking? Okay, if that feeling made your stomach tighten just a little, good. Because this video is about to make you uncomfortable. My name is Aisha, and I spend way too much time thinking about why smart, disciplined people still struggle with money. Not people who are careless, not people who ignore their finances, not people who live beyond their means. I'm talking about people who do everything right and still can't figure out where the money went. And if you're someone who tries to be responsible, who looks for deals, waits for sales, uses coupons, buys things on discount, reads the reviews, compares prices, feels proud when you find a bargain, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Because here's the thing, discounts don't make you spend less, they make you spend more. And the scariest part is, they do it while making you feel smart. They don't bypass your intelligence, they weaponize it. Now look, before you push back, before you think, not me, I'm careful, let me say this clearly. Discounts aren't evil, sales aren't scams, and you're not bad with money. But your brain was never built for modern pricing psychology. Your brain evolved to survive scarcity, to grab resources when they were available, to act fast when opportunity appeared, to feel rewarded when you found something valuable. And retailers know this. They've spent billions of dollars studying how your brain responds to numbers, colors, urgency, and perceived value. They've turned shopping into a science. And you're the experiment. And once you see what's actually happening inside your head during a sale, you will never shop the same way again. So stick with me for the next 20 minutes, because I'm going to show you why your brain treats discounts like free money and why that's so dangerous. Why disciplined people actually spend more during sales than impulsive people. How a single $25 weekly habit can cost you over $130,000 in your lifetime, and exactly how to use discounts without letting them use you. Here's what most people don't realize. Your brain doesn't evaluate prices in isolation. It evaluates them relative to something else. This isn't a flaw, it's a feature. Your brain is constantly comparing, or is this bigger than that? Is this safer than that? Is this a better deal than that? It's how you make quick decisions in a complex world. But here's the problem. When you see a shirt that's normally $80 but now $40, your brain doesn't process $40. It processes $40 saved. That difference sounds subtle. It's not. Because psychologically, saving money feels almost identical to earning money. Think about that for a second. If someone handed you $40, you'd feel good, right? You'd feel like you gained something. That's the exact same feeling your brain gives you when you see that discount. Except in one scenario, you're $40 richer, in the other, you're $40 poorer, but your brain can't tell the difference. There's a famous study from Duke University where participants were scanned using fMRI machines while making purchasing decisions. When people believed they were getting a deal, the same reward centers lit up as when they received cash. Dopamine, reward, pleasure. Even when their bank balance went down. That's wild. It means a discount doesn't just reduce price, it creates a reward loop. Your brain treats discounts like found money, and found money gets spent. Because when you find $20 on the street, you don't think, I should invest this. You think, I can treat myself. The same thing happens with discounts. Your brain categorizes that saved money as bonus money, guilt-free money, fun money, so you spend it. Sometimes on the discounted item itself, sometimes on other things you add to the cart because I'm already saving so much. And that's how a trip to buy one thing turns into a cart full of things you didn't plan for. Now you might be thinking, okay, Aisha, sure, that explains impulse buys, but I'm disciplined. I don't just buy random stuff. I think things through. Here's where it gets interesting. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that people who self-identify as good with money actually spend more during sales than people who don't. Not less, more. I'll say it again because it's counterintuitive. The people who pride themselves on being financially responsible spend more money during sales than people who don't think of themselves that way. Why? Because discipline creates justification. When you're someone who normally restrains yourself, who says no to things, who budgets carefully, a sale becomes your permission slip. You tell yourself things like, I usually don't spend. I've been good lately. I deserve this. I'm saving money anyway. This is a smart purchase. So now you're not spending emotionally, you're spending logically. You're not being impulsive, you're being strategic. Except the logic is broken, because the mental accounting goes like this. I saved $40 on this shirt, so I can afford to buy it. But the real accounting is, I spent $40, I wasn't planning to spend at all. And here's the kicker. Because you're disciplined, you've probably trained yourself to resist regular priced items. You've built up this muscle of saying no, but sales circumvent that muscle entirely. They don't ask you to be less disciplined. They ask you to be more logical. And logic, when it's based on false premises, leads you to the wrong conclusion every single time. Let me show you exactly how this works. Imagine two scenarios. Scenario 1. You walk into a store. You see a jacket for $120. You think, that's nice, but I don't need it. You leave. End of story. You feel fine, maybe even a little proud of yourself for not buying something unnecessary. Scenario 2. Same jacket, same store, same day. But now there's a red tag. Was $120, now $65. You pause. You weren't planning to buy a jacket. You weren't even thinking about jackets. But now your brain wakes up. Wait, that's almost half off. That's a really good deal. I mean, I don't need it right now, but I will need a jacket eventually. And when I do need one, I'll have to pay full price. So really, buying this now is the smart move. I'm not spending $65. I'm saving $55. You buy it. You feel good at checkout. You tell the cashier, can you believe this deal? You post about it later. Found this jacket for 50% off? Not bad. Now ask yourself this honestly. Did you save $50 or did you spend $65 you were never going to spend at all? This right here, this moment, is the core illusion. Discounts don't create savings. They create permission. They shift the question from, "Do I need this?" to, "Is this a good deal?" And those questions live in completely different parts of your brain. One protects your future, the other hijacks your present. "Do I need this?" is a defensive question. It's asking you to justify the expense against your actual life. "Is this a good deal?" is an offensive question. It's asking you to compare the price against other prices. And here's the thing. Almost any sale price is a good deal compared to the full price. That's why the full price exists, not because anyone pays it, but because it makes the sale price look incredible. This is called anchoring bias. Your brain grabs the first number it sees and treats it as reality. That original price becomes the anchor, even if it was inflated, arbitrary, or completely made up. Even if that jacket has never sold for $120 in its entire existence. Even if the original price was only displayed for 1 week before the sale started. Your brain doesn't know that. Your brain just sees $120 is the real value. $65 is a steal. Retailers know this. That's why sale tags are red. Red triggers urgency, importance, action. That's why original prices exist, to give you a reference point. That's why limited time is everywhere, to shut down the part of your brain that wants to think. Because here's the secret they don't want you to know. Urgency shuts down reflection, and reflection is the only thing standing between you and overspending. When you're rushed, when there's a countdown timer, when there are only 3 left in stock, when the sale ends tonight, your brain doesn't have time to ask the important questions. It just knows. Act now. Decide fast. Don't miss out. And in that state, you're not making a decision. You're executing a reflex. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where the damage hides. Most people think, okay, so I overspend a little during sales. It's not that big a deal. And on any given day, you're right, it's not. But money doesn't work on any given day. It works over time. So let's play this out. Say discounts cause you to spend just $25 extra per week. That's nothing, right? That's a coffee and a snack, a random Amazon add-on when you're checking out, a might-as-well item because you're already buying something else. $25 per week is $1,300 per year. Still doesn't sound that scary, but now invest that at a conservative 7% annual return over 30 years. That's over $130,000. Your brain thought it was saving money on sales. Your future just lost a house down payment, or a year of retirement, or your kid's college tuition. And here's the part nobody talks about. Discounts don't just increase how much you spend, they increase how often you spend. Because here's what happens. Without sales, you buy things when you need them. You run out of toothpaste, you buy toothpaste. You need a new pair of shoes, you buy shoes. With sales, you buy things when you're prompted. You get an email. Flash sale, 40% off everything. You weren't thinking about buying anything, but now you are. You browse, you look around, you see what's on sale. And even if you don't buy anything this time, you've engaged with spending. You've opened the store. You've looked at products. You've thought about what you might want. Sales train your brain to wait. You stop buying when you need something. You start buying when you're prompted. That means more browsing, more exposure, more temptation. Your wallet never gets a break. And every time you browse, even if you don't buy, you're reinforcing the habit. You're teaching your brain that this is what we do when we're bored, when we're checking our phone, when we have 5 minutes. We shop. This is why apps send notifications. Your favorites are on sale. Don't miss out, 24 hours only. Items in your cart are selling fast. Why emails say, just dropped. Why carts expire. It's not about price. It's about keeping you engaged with spending. Because retailers know something you might not. The hardest part isn't getting you to buy once. It's getting you to come back. But if they can turn shopping into a habit, into something you do reflexively, regularly, repeatedly, they don't have to convince you to buy. They just have to be there when you're ready. Now here's the escalation most people miss. Discounts are not designed to convert non-spenders into spenders. They're designed to convert occasional spenders into frequent ones. Think about it. If you already don't shop somewhere, a sale probably won't change that. But if you shop there once a month, a sale might make you shop there once a week. If you spend $50 per visit, a sale might make you spend $80. It's the same psychology casinos use. Slot machines don't make you rich. They make you stay. The occasional win, just enough to feel exciting, keeps you playing. Discounts don't make you save. They make you browse. The occasional deal, just enough to feel smart, keeps you coming back. Now you might be thinking, okay, fine, but discounts still help if I was going to buy it anyway. Sometimes. But here's the catch. Most people think they would have bought it anyway, only because the discount made it feel inevitable. Let me explain. Behavioral economists call this post-purchase rationalization. Your brain rewrites history to protect your identity. After you buy something on sale, your brain needs to justify the decision. And the easiest way to do that is to convince yourself, I was going to buy this anyway. But were you? Really? If the sale hadn't happened, would you have bought it at full price next week? Would you have even remembered you wanted it, or did the sale create the need? This is why the system works even when you understand it. There was a study where researchers explained discount psychology to participants. They walked them through anchoring bias, urgency, dopamine, everything I'm telling you right now. And then they sent them shopping. They still spent more. Knowledge doesn't turn it off. Awareness just gives you leverage. Which brings us to the most important part. So how do you actually use discounts without letting them use you? Here's the rule that changed everything for me. Rule number 1. If you wouldn't buy it at full price, the discount doesn't matter. Not eventually, not maybe later, right now. If you see a $200 blender on sale for $80, ask yourself, would I pay $200 for this right now if there was no sale? If the answer is yes, if you've been researching blenders, if yours just broke, if you genuinely need one and were planning to buy one soon, then the discount is real. But if the answer is no, if you only want it because it's cheap, if you're justifying it with, but it's such a good deal, walk away. Because that's not a discount. That's an $80 expense you didn't have 5 minutes ago. Rule number 2, only buy discounted items that were on your list before the sale existed. No list, no buy. This one's brutal but effective. It forces you to distinguish between needs and opportunities. A need is something you identified independently. You decided you wanted it, you researched it, you put it on a list. An opportunity is something the sale created. You didn't want it until you saw the price. Needs deserve discounts. Opportunities are distractions. Keep a running wish list. Update it regularly. When something goes on sale and it's on your list, great. But if it's not on your list, it doesn't matter how good the deal is. Rule number 3, urgency is a red flag. Real savings don't rush you. If a deal disappears tomorrow, it wasn't saving you money, It was controlling you. Because here's the truth about limited time offers. If it's a good product at a good price, it will go on sale again. Retailers don't do one-time sales. They do cycles. Black Friday comes every year. End-of-season sales are predictable. Flash sales happen constantly. The urgency is artificial. It's designed to make you act before you think. So when you see ends tonight or only 3 left or don't miss out, pause. That's not information. That's manipulation. Real value doesn't need a countdown timer. And here's the biggest reframe. The best discount isn't 30% off. It's not 50% off. It's not even 90% off. The best discount is not buying it at all. Because money you don't spend keeps compounding. Money you don't spend stays invested. Money you don't spend remains available for the things that actually matter. And once you see discounts for what they really are, not savings, but psychological triggers designed to make you spend, everything changes. You stop feeling guilty when you pass on a good deal. You stop feeling behind because you missed a sale. You stop wondering why you can't get ahead when you're doing everything right. You realize the game was designed this way. The whole system, the sales, the urgency, the original prices, the emails, the notifications, it's all designed to make you feel like spending is saving. And you don't have to win every time. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to never shop sales again. You just have to pause 1 more second than you used to. 1 second to ask, do I need this? Or does the discount just make it feel like I do? 1 second to check, was this on my list or am I rationalizing? 1 second to recognize, is this urgency real or is it just trying to shut down my reflection? Because every pause breaks the spell, and once the spell is broken, you're no longer reacting. You're choosing. And there's a massive difference between reacting to a discount and choosing to make a purchase. One is driven by external triggers, the sale, the price, the urgency. The other is driven by internal values, your needs, your goals, your priorities. One makes you feel smart in the moment and regretful later. The other makes you feel confident immediately and proud long term. And if you want more videos that explain money the way your brain actually experiences it, not the way finance books pretend, not the way influencers oversimplify, but the way it actually works in your head, subscribe. Because understanding money psychology doesn't just make you richer. It makes you calmer. It makes you feel more in control. It takes away that constant background anxiety of, where did the money go? And that might be the most valuable return of all. I'll see you in the next one.